The magical forest. Once upon a time, in a magical forest where trees touched the sky and flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, there lived a little fox named Ruby. Ruby had a beautiful, shiny red coat that sparkled under the sunlight and a playful spirit that brought joy to all who met her. Her curiosity led her to explore every corner of the forest, discovering hidden paths, sparkling streams, and secret clearings filled with enchanting sights. One sunny morning, as golden rays of the sun filtered through the leaves, Ruby woke up with a big smile on her face. The fresh air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the cheerful sounds of birds singing happy melodies. "Today is a perfect day for an adventure," she exclaimed, hopping out of her cozy den and stretching her paws with excitement. As she trotted along the familiar trails, Ruby met her friend Benny, a wise old turtle who loved to tell stories about the forest's history and the lessons he had learned throughout his long life. Benny had a shiny shell covered in moss, giving him an even more venerable appearance. "Good morning, Benny. What tales do you have for me today?" Ruby asked eagerly, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Benny smiled warmly, his gaze reflecting the wisdom he had gathered over the years. "Good morning, Ruby. Today I have a special story about a hidden treasure deep within the forest, guarded by ancient magic and the spirit of the woods." Ruby's eyes lit up with excitement. "A treasure? I want to find it. Can we go together? I promise to help in any way I can." Benny nodded thoughtfully. "Of course. But remember, the journey is just as important as the treasure itself. We must be mindful of the wonders we encounter along the way." So Ruby and Benny set off on their adventure. They crossed babbling streams, climbed hills that seemed to reach the clouds, and discovered beautiful meadows filled with colorful flowers swaying gently in the breeze. Along the way, they met many friends, Bella the graceful deer, who showed them the best spots to find the juiciest berries, and Oliver the wise owl, who shared secrets about the stars and the stories they held. As they journeyed deeper into the heart of the forest, the trees grew taller and the air filled with the sweet songs of nature. Sunlight filtered through the canopy of leaves, creating patterns of light and shadow on the moss-covered ground. Butterflies danced in the air, and Ruby, feeling as if she were in a dream, cherished every moment of the adventure. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached a sparkling waterfall cascading down smooth rocks, creating a soothing melody that filled the air with its gentle murmur. "This is where the treasure is hidden," said Benny, pointing to a small cave nestled behind the waterfall, its entrance adorned with shimmering crystals that reflected rainbow colors. With courage in her heart, Ruby stepped forward and entered the cave, feeling the cool mist from the waterfall on her fur. The inside of the cave was warm and inviting, illuminated by a soft glow emanating from the walls covered in precious stones. At the back, she found a glowing chest filled with the most wonderful treasures, shimmering gems of every imaginable color, golden leaves that sparkled like sunlight, and the brightest flowers she had ever seen, each radiating a sweet fragrance that filled the air. "Wow! This is amazing!" Ruby exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder as she reached out to touch the treasures before her. But just then, she noticed a small, dusty old book resting beside the chest. She picked it up and opened it, revealing pages filled with stories and drawings that narrated the history of the forest and its many inhabitants. Benny chuckled softly, "But remember, Ruby, the true treasure is not just the gems or gold, but the friends we make and the adventures we share." Ruby nodded, realizing that the journey with Benny and their friends was the most valuable treasure of all. They returned to their cozy den, filled with laughter and stories to tell, knowing that their adventures would continue for many days to come. As the stars twinkled overhead, Ruby tucked herself into her den, dreaming of the next adventure that awaited her in the magical forest. As she closed her eyes, Ruby thought of all the friends she had made and the stories she had heard. She realized that each day in the forest brought with it new opportunities to learn and grow. Tomorrow will be another day of exploration, she told herself as she drifted off into a sweet embrace of sleep. And so, with the murmurs of the forest in the background, Ruby sank into a deep and restful slumber, ready to wake up and face a new day full of wonders and mysteries.